Well, here we are. It's becoming a thing. I won't name drop, but someone I've been working with this year has been trying over and over and over to get me to journal, and I just couldn't get my head. I tried so hard, but I just couldn't get my head into the why, the what, the how. And then a couple of weeks ago, I had the idea for this vlog for 2023. So I've just done my December 31st to 2022 measurements, weigh in, etc, etc. That will be in the next video, just as a starting point really, because you need to have a start to have an end, or some other tosh like that. So I've pre-recorded the videos for Who Am I and What Is My Story, so I'm going to start editing them, put them in, and hopefully this episode will be, it might be interesting, it might be the same old story because I'm telling the same old people, because there's probably only 5 or 6 people on Instagram that might watch this for now. But with the power of social media and hashtags and all that good stuff, I will try and spread the message, and you never know. So this is as awkward as a backroom casting couch. This is me, this is my video. If you enjoy, then leave a message, leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you. So, the story of Nate. Where to begin? What's your name and where'd you come from? So, my backstory. Let me just turn that off. Okay. Where do I start? Play the little violin. I was always a fat kid in school. I was always picked last or in goal. I was never very sporty. Yada yada yada. I was lazy. I am lazy still. You could say, nature versus nurture in that argument. However, ultimately it comes down to personal want as much as the environment you're exposed to. Here's a photo of me when I was little. I think that was probably the last time I was slim. So I've always had chubby little cheeks. This one was probably my slimmest. And apparently my head grew without the rest of me following. Then my teeth grew. That was shortly before I knocked them out of my face. The chub started. Then I hit senior school, year 7. So I would have been 11. And I think from then I vividly remember my weight matching my age in stone, all the way up well into my 20s. So I did my very best not to have any photos taken as much as I could. I tried to avoid the limelight. I became a bit of a recluse. Woe is me, poor little fat kid. But that was me. I got into some very unhealthy habits. You start getting your own pocket money. Why just buy a can of Coke when you can buy a 2 litre bottle for 30-40p more? Good old days. And so it just went on like that, and that was how I got myself into quite the state. Various things in my life happened, most of which I can't and I won't attribute to my mum. It's not fair. It's just the hand we were dealt. I was pretty much her carer and her sole one-on-one helper from as young as I can remember up until 16, 17, learning to drive. My granddad dipping in and paying for me to drive, and then Motability, but my mum had put me on the car, and then I was her driver as well, so I was everything up until my mid-20s, when we lost her. And that's when the cliche "I've got my life back." It's the wrong thing to say. I never lost my life in terms of I didn't have opportunity. I did. I had some amazing opportunities, and I was working a lot of nights. I was doing door work, working pubs and clubs, so I could go out to work in the evening, come home, be here for mum, sort her out, have a nap, sort her out her evening meal, and depending on my shift, have another nap and or go out to work. So it worked for us. We also somehow managed to struggle on an income of about 6 or 7 grand a year because I was only on part-time hours. My life was on credit, to a fair degree it still is, but with that comes certain things. Food is cheap, food is plentiful. I was trying to be one of the lads, so I was going out on the beer. You get kebab on the way home when you finish shift. Problem is you work 4 or 5 nights a week, that's 4 or 5 kebabs a week, and you work in the doors, do a bit of weight training, the bigger the better, big strong man. Me and my wife, we went down the Herbalife route, and we got involved with a local fitness professional, for use of a better word. It was really good, actually. We were getting out and we were eating better, we were moving, we were competing to take part in the local fit club stakes, and I ended up winning. I lost £29 in 31 days. And at the time I was, in pounds, £325 when I started, and that was one of the first times I dipped under £300 in my adult life. £300 in old money, 21 stone, or 136 kilos. At the moment I'm sitting at about, after Christmas, probably 152, but I'm on about 150 kilos, whatever that is in pounds. I've stopped, I just do kilos now, it's much easier. Going back to Herbalife, we eventually hit that brick wall of it not being sustainable. My wife got herself in a bit of a tizzy over numbers and weights and what her body should look like for the weight, what the numbers mean, and we both had to stop and find our way back again, because we were down the rabbit hole. We were constantly chasing that next pound, that next whatever. I did a 5k, Jem did a 10k, and rather than stop, she pushed herself to do it, and came through the door crying because of it. And it was after that we both sort of really went, this isn't normal, this isn't healthy, and so that's where that came to an end. And because you come off of crash diets and shakes and wonder potions and hit 2 or 3 times a day, of course all the weight comes back with interest. And it wasn't much, I don't know how long it was, but it feels like I've been taking progress photos now forever, at least 7 years, I've been on and off, counting my calories, counting my steps, planning my meals, taking my photos, and I haven't really got much of anywhere, which on reflection is quite difficult to take in. However, I have lost, what am I now, 42? I've lost 14 inches off of my waist, but my weight is more now than it was then. I'm not back to my heaviest yet, but I'm not far under either. However, my body composition, my strength, my muscle mass, my mental attitude is so much more improved, is in a much better place than I ever thought possible. I'm not a fool. I've still got a belly and excess body fat in all the wrong places. That is all of the danger areas for diabetes, kidney problems, liver, heart, all that good stuff. I'm not stupid. It will bite me in the arse one day. I hope it doesn't, of course, but I also know that I had to do something else.